Welcome, Essentials Math 1. This is the hard copy to your electronic workbook. When you come in person to class, you will get one book of this. I do not have enough to give duplicates, so please keep track of your book. So, when we began this book, we kick it off with Dear Student. Algebra is two things: a convenient language for expressing patterns and relationships you know, and a logical system for figuring out things you don't yet know. This book is not about rules and facts, but shows you how you can make sense of algebra without rules that seem random. Mathematics is always perfectly logical. This book is designed so that you see how it all makes sense. In Unit 1, you'll learn to describe mathematical relationships and patterns using pictures, words, and algebraic language. You'll use your own common sense and logic to work on the solutions. Puzzles will be an important part of your work in this course because they don't tell you where to start. Like life, they require you to explore, be clever, and stick with it. The goal is for you to learn to use the logical thinking you already have to solve the new kinds of problems you are learning about in algebra. Enjoy. So I love these pages because they always start off with a pattern, with a puzzle. So this is a mobile. And mobiles, the way they explain it, are those little things that hang above babies in their cribs. And what you want is for it to be balanced so that it's safe around a child. If it tips up or tips down, it would be unsafe because the child might get hold of the toy. So if this is balanced, if this is 80, then 40 has to be on both sides to keep it balanced. If this is 40, then these must be 20 to keep that balanced. So for this, if you have 5 stars and they add up to 40, well, 40 divided by 5 equals 8. So 1 star equals 8. Same thing over here. If you have 20 and 4 diamonds, 20 divided by 4 equals 5. So 1 diamond would be 4. So this puzzle is basically asking us, what is a leaf? Well, we know a star is 8. What do you have to add to 8 to get 20? Well, 8 plus 1 is 9. 8 plus 2 is 10. So if 2 gets us 10, then we need 10 more. So this has to be 12. Well, this 12 is split between two things. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. If you didn't get that, that's okay, because that's what we're getting into in this book. And if you did understand that, you are ahead of the curve, and my focus for you is learning how to communicate your thoughts. So let's get into it. All right, lesson 1 is exploring number tricks, and the important stuff are on the green pages. So number 1, fill in the empty cells in this table. Instructions are our words, pictures are our cups and dots, or buckets and dots, and our people are the people who pick numbers, and we get to see how those patterns unfold. So when you think of a number, it goes in a bucket. Anything can be in that bucket. But when you add numbers, you specifically see dots. So when you multiply by 2, you multiply your buckets and you multiply your dots. When you subtract 2, you subtract what you can see, and what we can see are the dots. So our 2 buckets are going to stay, and instead we're going to get rid of 2 dots. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dots. Here I divide by 2. So now I have 1 bucket, and I only have 4 dots. And if I subtract my original number, well, my original number was a bucket. So my bucket is gone, and all I have are my 4 dots. So let's see what this looks like with numbers. So think of a number, Ian thought of 3. Add 5. So 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 multiplied by 2 is 16. 16 subtract 2 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And if we subtract our original number of 3, we get 4. That's interesting. Because I have 4 dots. And now I have the number 4. What will happen on the next one? So here is a great place to pause and then figure out the rest of the numbers. Jacob is tricky because we don't get to start with his number, so we need to work our way down and work our way back. So I'm going to go forward first. 12 divided by 2 is 6. I don't know what my original number was, so I can't do that one unless I set this equal to this. So if I have a cup and 4 dots, and that makes sense, what do I have to add to 6 to make, what do I have to add to 4 to get 6? My guess is 2, but let's work our way back. 14, something multiplied by 2 became 14. Something added to 5 made 7, so it was 2. Okay, so if I subtract my original number, wow, I'm back to 4. So Michael, Lena, and Jay are working on problem 1. How can we subtract Jacob's original number? We don't know his original number. Well, the table says that Jacob got 14 when the picture was 2 buckets and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dots. Boom. So 2 buckets plus 10 is 14. I can see 10 of Jacob's 14, so the remaining 4 must be split between 2 buckets. That makes sense. So 2 buckets equals 4, and Jacob's original number must have been 2. Pausing to think. If 2 buckets and 10 dots equals 14, how do Lena and Michael know that 2 buckets equal 4? Well, if you get rid of the 10, then what's left is 4. Okay. I found Jacob's number differently. I went backwards. He got 14 after multiplying by 2, so he must have been thinking of the number 7. And then he got that 7 by adding 5 to his original number. So either way, he started with 2. If Damon got 22 when the picture was 2 buckets and 10 dots, what was his original number? So if I can see this 10, then it means these 2 had 12, because 12 plus 10 make 22. This is a great place to start because this shows you how to fill out a table with words, pictures, and numbers. And then this gives you a couple of examples of how to find what's in one particular bucket. So good luck and get started on the next page.